This is my studio in New York, and I am on the 11th floor, facing north sky. This is a very traditional 19th century painter's studio in Paris. And I am not using any artificial light here. And all I do is this shading up and down. And then I can control the light. To me, this system, this method still makes the best quality picture. We think we keep making inventions and makes tools as sophisticated as possible, but to me, contemporary people tend to rely onto the computer method and all the machines. That's not good enough. You need something more than that. So this system, it's very hard to control, but it still makes the best picture. So I'm against the kind of evolution, this is, I am sticking to the traditional method. I'm a very craft-oriented person. But at the same time, I want to make it something artistic. The fossils works almost the same as the photography. To me, photography functions as a fossilization of the time. How my architecture series started, I visited so many early 20th century architecture. They are all famous. They look so beautiful in the book, but if you actually go there, it's 60, 70, 80 years old. They are, most of them in very bad conditions. To make them out of focus picture, all the wrinkles disappeared. Stillness, well, that's something I'm not intentionally, promoting it, but most of the people sees it, and it's very quiet and serene. Seascapes case, my subject matter is water and air. That's the kind of most kind of abstract theme. I find the spot that I want to stay, and then stay there, maybe sometimes 1 week, sometimes a couple weeks to 3 weeks. And then I just stay there and just feel like I'm a part of this nature and landscape. So far, I visited so many different seas, but I never be on a boat. I have to be on the ground. I start feeling this is a creation of the universe, and I'm witnessing it. Well, this is my miniature seascapes day and night. And I wind this up, and it shakes. So this is my famous Japanese earthquake. Shall I do it here? Mm-hmm. Whoa. Well, this is one of my fossil collection. 450 million years old. And then this cabinet, I call this cabinet as my Shinto shrine, portable Shinto shrine. I have this mirror here, and well, the Japanese Shinto shrine, they always keep the mirror inside. That's probably the reflection of the old memory, ancestors. And this is, I'm worshiping our ancestors. This is the earliest stage of the life formation in the world. So this is what I have to pay respect. 2 years ago, I was commissioned to build a Shinto shrine in Japan. It's a religious institution and it's still active, but the building itself gets so old and deteriorated. So I was commissioned to rebuild this Shinto shrine. So this is exactly 30 years since I first came to see this Rajgras, to see this Duchamp piece. Actually, that was the year I came to New York from California after spending 3 years in California as an art student. And that was the first things I did, make a short trip from New York to Philadelphia to see this Duchamp piece. It seems strong and important. The way you read it is your own creation. He is kind of stimulating a kind of very abstract thinking over the kind of metaphors. So there's no one answer to describe this, Well, this is the miniature piece I made. This is actually photographed in Tokyo, and what I photographed was the replica of the Rajgras. I use 8x10 camera. This is the original negative here, sandwiched between the two thick grass like this. And then this side is the positive, actually the contact print from the other side, negative. I wasn't so aware of Duchamp's influence, but at the reaching at my age now, I feel very strong like how much effect that he did effect on my career in art. What I'm working on now is my show at the Cartier Foundation in Paris. The Cartier Foundation, it's a glass box. It's a huge glass box. I'm presenting a three-dimensional Duchamp Rajgras presentation in my way of presentation. This is a bachelor section. And this is a bride section. This is each 9 figures as a bachelor. That's being represented as more like a machine-like figure. That's why I'm related to this collection of my machine photographs. The machine models were 19th century. They served to demonstrate very basic machine movement for the student. We are getting into this upper part of the section called the bride section. So this is supposed to be a bride with this very interesting formation of cloud-like shapes. That's kind of feminine to me. So I decided to compare with my mathematical forms like this. This was made to show student what's the mathematics, three-dimensional mathematical theories can be seen in the actual three-dimensional models. I was very bad in mathematics when I was a high school student. I loved physics, but my lack of understanding of mathematics made me think that I am not the proper person to get into physics. I found that I'm quite a visual person. I have to confirm everything by my eye. So I became more like a visual artist. Every museum show, I try to design the space. It's very important. It's not just a photography show. It's more like I'm designing the space. So it's just like a space sculpture, like. I want people to get puzzled first, as people walk in, the first probably people may think this is a minimalist sculpture show. And then came all the way into the space and turned back, and all of a sudden this is a photography show. So people pay only one admission and get to see two different kind of show. It's a very heavily discounted. I have so many ideas being cooked in my brain, and they seem like all impossible. But sometimes it becomes reality. So this is through my translation of my visual, visual understanding of how I see things. And then make imagination possible to be able to show to everybody. That's the task of artist, I think. Okay.
To learn more about Art21, Art in the 21st Century, and to download the free Educator's Guide, please visit PBS online at pbs.org. Art21, Art in the 21st Century is available on videocassette or with additional features on DVD. The companion book to the program is also available. To order, call PBS Home Video at 1-800-PLAY-PBS.